Every time you look at the news, right? It's conflict, economic chaos. It can feel pretty overwhelming. And it's so easy to feel, well, powerless. So the big question we're really digging into today is, with all this going on, what can you, as one person, actually do to secure your own future?
Yeah, this quote really it hits hard, doesn't it? It gets right to the heart of the problem. It's painting this picture of a huge divide. You've got the system controllers over here, the powerful folks making decisions that help themselves, and then there's everyone else, ordinary people who end up paying the price. And look, this isn't some new radical idea. The source material is pretty clear that this dynamic, well, it's a story as old as time.
So let's dive a little deeper into this conflict. The way it's framed is fascinating. It's almost like this ongoing, invisible war. Not a war between countries with armies and flags, but a war between the people in power and, well, the public. Okay, look at this breakdown. It shows two completely different realities when a crisis hits. For regular people like you and me, what does conflict mean? It means suffering. It means your finances get wiped out. And in the absolute worst-case scenarios, you're forced to leave everything behind just to find safety. But then you flip the coin. What about the so-called system controllers? Well, the argument here is they're just looking out for number one. Their families? Oh, they're safe, comfortable, probably living in some nice, secure country. And in the end, they get what they wanted all along. It's like they're playing a chess game, and the rest of us are the pawns on the board, living in a totally different, much scarier world.
And this isn't just some abstract theory, this has real-world consequences. The price for this power gap is paid by actual people every single day. So let's get specific and look at what that really means.
And these examples just drive the point home, don't they? I mean, just think about the last 10 years. Our source points out there have been wars on every single continent. We've all seen those heart-wrenching images of mass migrations, people fleeing the Middle East with nothing but the clothes on their backs. Or take something like economic sanctions on a country like Iran. Who really gets hurt? Is it the people at the top? No. It's the ordinary citizens, the ones just trying to feed their families. And all the while, the families of the powerful, they're totally fine, completely shielded from the fallout of the decisions they help make.
Then the source hits us with this really heavy statement. Just listen to this. It has always been this way, and it will continue to be this way. Wow. That just feels hopeless, right? Like we're all stuck in this endless loop where the powerful pull the strings and regular people get caught in a crossfire. Over and over again.
But that leads to a really important question. A question for you. Is that it? Is that your destiny? Are you just supposed to accept being a piece on their board, just waiting around for the next crisis to upend your life?
Well, according to the source material we're looking at, the answer is a big fat no. Because right here, even when it feels like the world is spinning out of control, when you feel totally powerless, there's something better you can do than just wait. You don't have to be passive. You don't have to let things just happen to you.
And that's where we pivot. This brings us to the core solution that's being proposed here. It's called Your Path to Survival. And notice the shift. We're moving away from the impossible task of changing the entire global system and focusing instead on the one thing you can control, yourself.
So what's the key? It's something the source calls economic power. Now, let's be clear. This is not about becoming a millionaire just for the sake of it. Think of it more like building a personal fortress, a shield. It's about creating security and, maybe most importantly, options for yourself, so that when the big systems out there start to shake, you're not the one who falls.
Which leads us right into our next section, claiming economic freedom. So, let's break down the actual practical plan. How do you do this? How do you build that security for yourself?
Okay, and the first thing you'll notice is this is surprisingly simple. This isn't some quit your job and change your entire life kind of plan. You don't need a bunch of money to get started. The proposal starts with just 1 hour. That's it. 1 hour a week to focus on building a better future. Come on, anybody can find 1 hour, right? And here it is, the plan boiled down to its absolute basics. It's just 2 steps. Step 1, you take that 1 hour a week and you learn. Pick any branch of economics that interests you. Maybe it's personal finance, maybe it's understanding the stock market, or even just the basics of investing. Just learn. Then, step 2, you act on what you learn. And look, the goal isn't to become a Wall Street guru overnight. It's just about taking one small, smart step, and then another, and another. Each one building a little more of that buffer between you and all the chaos out there. All right, this brings us to the end, to our final section. And honestly, this might be the most important part of this whole thing.
This is the final wake-up call. It's an urgent plea to not just nod along to these ideas, but to actually do something. And the message couldn't be more blunt. Wake up. Wake up before it's too late. The time to start building your own security, that economic foundation, it's right now, not tomorrow, not next year, not when some crisis hits and you have no other choice. Because think about it. Go back to those examples we talked about. The people who lost everything in a war, the families struggling under sanctions. The final warning here is incredibly personal. Don't be next. It's about taking action now so that you and your family aren't the next ones to fall victim to a system that, let's face it, was never built to look out for you in the first place.
So I'm going to leave you with this one last question to really think about. What does economic freedom actually look like for you? Seriously, is it having a 6-month emergency fund so you don't panic if you lose your job? Is it having the confidence to invest for your future? Or maybe it's just having the freedom to pack up and move if you ever had to. Figuring out what that picture looks like in your head, well, that's the very first step to making it real.